Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Did you know that the SEC actually is totes cool with not just Bitcoin and Ethereum? Did you know that there's a third cryptocurrency that effectively has the green light? Yeah, I didn't either until this morning. Well, maybe you know by this point. I mean, people have been talking about it a bit today. I still think most people have no idea. But there's a little known cryptocurrency that after litigation, in a situation where there are some parallels with what's happening with Ripple, it's effectively, they got the green light. And so there's lots to talk about in this video. I'm going to be starting with this piece from the Daily Hodl, though. This is titled, "One of XRP's Biggest Critics is Standing Behind Ripple in Expected Legal Battle with SEC." I then have a thread from XRP community member Galgatron in which he voices why he personally believes that things are going to go well, that ultimately Ripple will win this thing. And there's a couple different ways that it could go, but regardless, XRP will not be going the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. And all this is happening because Jay Clayton and the SEC being a bunch of punk-ass bitches, you know, Mike Tyson, the punk-ass bitches. That's what's happening right here. That's why we've got to talk about all this stuff. And then on top of that, there are all sorts of people, many rather well-known in the world of crypto, that are just so gleeful that the SEC is coming down on Ripple that they're behaving like just extremely poorly, I would say. And it says something about their character or perhaps the lack thereof. And so I'm going to highlight some of that. Now that, since it's just interesting, I'm going to share that towards for the last part of this particular video. But I think it's time that we get to go in with this latest Moon Lambeau hot jam. If you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I'd appreciate the support. And consider subscribing if you've not yet done so, because if you don't, you are dead to me. Right into the content. And I would like to note, too, that XRP is now down, as I record this, to 40.9 cents. And it's 9:02 p.m. As I speak this sentence right now, here in the good old Midwest in the United States. Oh, hey, look, it's up to 41.3 cents. That's good news. I'm glad I could report on that. And so, look, I get it. People are scared. There are a lot of people that are scared out there. That's why the XRP price has been crashing. While mostly you've seen sideways tracking, in particular, over the last 24 hours for other top 10 cryptocurrencies. And that's part of the reason that, and I cited this in my last video too, where it's just kind of frustrating because I feel like the SEC is shaking XRP holders with less conviction out of their positions. Like they are influencing the market, kind of like whales typically do. It's kind of gross. I don't get it. And so look, I don't have a financial background. I'm not offering financial advice. Don't buy or sell because anything I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about this stuff as a hobby. But just know that I am sympathetic if you're scared out there. And you're going to see in this video, though, why I personally am not the least bit scared about the long-term viability of XRP. And despite this pullback based on this, what is ultimately resulting in fear, uncertainty, and doubt because of this SEC news, despite that, I firmly believe personally that the macro trend for XRP is, still in place, which is to say upwards and onwards. XRP moves with the rest of the crypto asset class. We're in a freaking bull market here. And again, don't blame anybody for selling. If you're too worried, of course, do whatever is right for you. Get out of it. If you're your XRP position, if you want to, I'm not gonna bemoan anybody that makes a decision like that. Honestly, just do what you think is right for you. I'm certainly not gonna think less of you because I get it. Once you got your real money in it, it's serious stuff here. But for me, no, I'm not worried in the least. And you're gonna see why again over the course of this video. But let's jump into the piece. A longtime critic of Ripple and the crypto asset XRP says he's on Ripple's side in an expected legal battle over the status of the third largest cryptocurrency. And the reason I said expected is because when this came out earlier today, the complaint had not actually come through, but now it has. Anyway, according to Ripple itself, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is about to sue the San Francisco startup on claims that it sold XRP as an unregistered security. Messari CEO Ryan Selkis, who has called XRP centralized and questioned its use as a tool for cross-border payments, says the case presents an opportunity to show that the SEC's Howey test for determining whether an asset is a security is sorely outdated in the digital age. Now, this is interesting because I've covered this guy. He's really something, and I don't mean that in a positive way. Nothing against him personally, but there have been instances where he's just in the news. He said some silly things, and he has such reach that I feel like I just need to combat this stuff. I'm not going to let people say a bunch of silly, whack-ass stuff, and then Moon Lambo just going to take it and not respond to it. Like, of course I'm going to. I will take out the wood chipper and place the content that they've created, which is garbage, into the wood chipper, and then problem is solved, right? Or at least that's my attempt, right? And so he's had some really, really out there stuff. Clearly does not like Ripple, does not like XRP. And not that that's changed. I'm sure he still does not. But I think he sees the writing on the wall here, which so many others don't. So at least I'll give him credit for that, at least. If this goes the way that so many XRP and Ripple haters want it to go or think they want it to go, it's not going to be good for them. And all, it's not going to be good for crypto in the United States. It really wouldn't. And so here's a quote from Ryan Selkis. By the way, this guy, he actually blocked me on Twitter, and I've never even talked to him, but I think I hit like on a comment when somebody else was talking about XRP, this guy, and he's I think he's just blocking everybody that had like XRP in their handle, which mine did at the time. And so there you go. I was like, okay, well, I guess I don't get to see stuff from Ryan Selkis. I'm going to cry myself to sleep every night. All right, here's the quote from Ryan Selkis. The SEC restrictions on non-accredited investors, the ridiculous Howey test, 80-year-old securities law, like the 40 Act, all need to die in fire. They are un-American and completely outdated. I hope Ripple wins. Pause. I appreciate the intellectual honesty there. And I've actually said the same thing. And it's just this concept of trying to shoehorn this brand new technology, which frankly includes actual, like XRP is an asset. And so to shoehorn that into this archaic legislation that was not designed for it and cannot accommodate it, it seems ridiculously silly. And that's why you saw it, maybe Brad Garlinghouse the other day, or maybe it was Stuart Allarody, another Ripple employee. Yeah, I think it was Stuart, but he said, bye-bye Howey test, hello Ripple test, because this is going to change some stuff here. But anyway, this quote continues here. This is, again, Ryan Selkis, XRP and Ripple hater, who is coming to their defense, which seems like some sort of bizarro universe stuff, because I've never seen this before, but I'm not against it. Anyway, he says, it's incumbent upon industry to self-police and hold the moral high ground. I give certain individuals A's and other F's, but as a whole, the most powerful people and companies generally take a Swiss neutrality stance on assets. So we're effectively in this together. The Howey test is broken. Ripple can set new precedents. Ripple has credible claims XRP is being used as a bridge asset today. Sure, the primary use is funding Ripple, but on-demand liquidity is gaining steam, if for no other reason than it's being foie gras to equity partners. Under the Howey framework, this is the piece continuing now. Under the Howey framework, a transaction represents an investment contract if a person invests his money in a common enterprise and is led to expect profit solely from the efforts of the promoter, sponsor, or other third party. And look, let me stop right there again, because when I jumped into the world of crypto in November 2017, the first altcoin I purchased that was not on Coinbase was XRP. And I was well aware that I was not buying any sort of ownership in the company, that they didn't owe me anything, nothing like that. I was well aware. And if anybody thought otherwise, I mean, it's like hashtag idiot stick. What the hell were you freaking thinking? That is not the case here. Silly stuff here. But people, I don't know. Small percentage, of course, I guess could think that. I guess maybe a small percentage think that there's a Bitcoin company too and they own it. Like, okay. But it's not meaningful. Anyway, Selkis says it's important that Ripple wins the case for the sake of other projects and companies in the space. And here's another quote. We're in this together to draw lines of regulatory demarcation. XRP as a security further hurts the U.S. businesses, while global comps will continue to make these markets. XRP as a security also means other assets will meet the same fate. At least Ripple has money to fight. And see, that's what I think that so many people that haven't thought this through, that are happy that this is happening and think that Ripple's going to crumble and fall apart, and I don't believe will be the case, but they think that, they like that there's the heat on it. They don't even realize how this could really seriously come back to bite them right on their keister, which is to say, the rear end. Anyway, rest of the quote here now. The SEC might force a settlement, but they're outclassed on legal. Remember, Ripple engaged former SEC Chair Mary Jo White in a civil matter in 2018. A hint of their money. Yeah, like I mentioned in the last video too, Ripple has more money than God, so at least they've got that going for them, right? In the long run, Selkis says he expects Ripple to win. And here's a quote. Ultimately, the USG, United States government, won't kill a domestic golden goose. The US will soon be on the take as well. Fine, Ripple. extract. Tax future Ripple XRP sales, extract. Keep Ripple funding California. Ripple will settle and get more aggressive in marketing. And think about it. Once this is behind them, that is a good point. If this goes the way that we think it will and hope it does, because like I'd be cool settling, by the way. I'm totally fine with that. It'd be less messy that way, frankly, so I would not mind. Yeah, I mean, like, the idea, it sounds the romantic idea of them taking the SEC onto court and smashing the SEC down. Okay, that does sound more enjoyable. I'd probably just take the damn settlement, though. Because think about it, once that's behind them, they don't have to have all these fears, because they have been extra careful. Even though look, they've been entirely transparent, they've been doing everything they can to not cross a line. And I think what Selkis is pointing out here actually makes sense, which is that, frankly, you can do more, you can be more aggressive, and you'll no longer need to live in fear of what might come. So take a look at this. A shout out to Frecky for tagging me in this along with some others in the community. And what is it? Let me click on this. Kin Digital Money, which I had not heard of until actually yesterday evening when they were mentioned here. But check this out. Here, so Kin Digital Money, this is their official Twitter account. They retweeted something from Brad Garlinghouse, which I'm not going to read through, but he put it out yesterday. I covered it in a video yesterday. And it was about what was happening with the impending lawsuit from the SEC against Ripple. And so that's from Brad Garlinghouse, Kin Digital Money, this cryptocurrency. So they retweeted that and wrote the following. Check this out. We can understand your feelings now, Brad Garlinghouse. Hashtag KIK, K-I-K, was sued by the SEC for allegedly conducting an ICO in 2017 while being a security. However, now that this is resolved, $Kin, K-I-N, which I guess is the, yeah, there you go, is the only asset. This is interesting. I did not know this. It's very important. But $Kin, K-I-N, is the only asset besides ETH and Bitcoin that is classified as a non-security by the SEC and judge. Well, how about that? And this is straight, see, there are parallels with what's happening with Ripple right here and how it turned out well for them, actually. It turned out quite well for them. And so now they are, it's been made clear from a legal perspective that they are, Kin, it is not a security. And so that's three of them. It's a small enough coin that I wasn't aware of it, and I think the vast majority of humans in the crypto space had no freaking clue. So there are implications here. There's precedent now. Check this out. You guys are going to love this thread. Seriously. This is from popular XRP community member Galgatron. I'm a fan of Galgatron. He's one of those guys that in my early days, very early on, I just learned a ton from him. He's just a wealth of knowledge, and I like the degree to which his analytical, my brain works in a similar fashion. So maybe I just like him because we agree on almost everything. Maybe that's it. But no, seriously, I always appreciate his takes on stuff here. So I wanted to run through this, and if you're worried about the potential long-term viability of XRP, this is going to ease your mind, I think. So here's what Galgatron wrote. I'm going to show you why this SEC lawsuit is probably going to very quickly and ironically determine XRP isn't a security. A precedent lawsuit that the SEC filed against KIK for precisely the same reason specifically targeted KIK's early sales of their Kin token. The lawsuit made no attempt to characterize Kin as a security or currency. It just focused on the nature of KIK's $100 million in Kin token sales, which the SEC decided were close enough to security sales to pursue it. A pittance of $5 million fine was levied against KIK. Very important quote. Check this out. Undisputed facts establish that KIK's sales of Kin tokens were sales of investment contracts and therefore of securities. Notice the context. KIK's sales of Kin tokens were sales of investment contracts. It clearly distinguishes Kin tokens from the selling activity. In other words, it was the selling that's being characterized as a security transaction, not the asset itself. Well, how about, and there's, look, guys, you guys got that, right? So there's precedent for this. It's the act again. Let me just read that last little part, because the government already did this. They distinguished Kin tokens from the selling activity. It's the selling activity that was the problem, not the asset. So again, the asset ultimately was determined to not be a security in and of itself, but the action, that was not kosher with them, right? And so what's interesting, there's already precedent for all this. And so let me go a little bit further. We're not done with Galgatron's thread here yet. And so he wrote, If this clear precedent plays out in Ripple's case, they will be levied a pittance of a fine, and XRP will clearly be demonstrated as not within the sights or purview of the SEC. It seems unfortunate that a lawsuit was the path to accomplish this, but a no-action letter from the SEC was probably not possible because of the discovery process, but it's the next best thing for XRP because it's hard to imagine a different outcome than the Kick scenario. Some would argue that Kick's token Ken was damaged by the lawsuit, and for obvious reasons, nobody know how it would end, but here's how it did end. There will be no trading restrictions on the Ken token, and the token will circulate freely on exchanges. Furthermore, the SEC has not asked Ken to register its tokens as a security. Again, guys, legal precedence matters here. It matters here, and there's parallels, which is why I would not be surprised in the least if we see something strikingly similar with what happens with the Ripple and XRP. Galgatron continues. So quite clearly, XRP won't become a security. Moreover, after the settlement, Kick was allowed to retain their assets and continue forward. To imagine a different outcome for Ripple's case is to defy legal precedent. Ripple will be fined a symbolic amount, and that's effing it. I censored it because I know there could be some children's in the background, so I don't really curse on this channel. Nothing too serious anyway. Damn it. I'll say damn it. Damn it. Anyway, a couple more tweets from him. One other very important point is that we don't even really care about the outcome of the lawsuit. We already know it shouldn't affect XRP, and Ripple's likely going to be able to afford the lawsuit and penalty. This lawsuit is just noise. After reviewing the official SEC complaint, they're proposing extremely harsh repercussions for Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse specifically. This unfortunate news will be quite potent and difficult to diffuse until a settlement offer is made. Please don't take anything I've written here as a guarantee of anything. Be prepared for any outcome. And then this is funny too. So somebody named Spelled Wrong asked, what's the worst case scenario? To which Galgatron responded, black hole swallows Earth. There you go. You know what? Brevity is the soul of wit. And you know who said that? Bill Shakespeare. Bill Shakespeare said brevity is the soul of wit. You got it, Galgatron. And then there's this. And so to be clear, actually, before I move on, I just want to state, all of this makes me feel extremely, all that on top of the fact that there's no way XRP is a security. All of this makes me extremely confident that this is going to turn out well for Ripple. And so all the people that are celebrating that this is happening to Ripple, oh my God, they are gonna like some of what they're writing. It's just not gonna age well. It's just like it's along the same lines as so like the Bitcoin maxi trolls when XRP price was low and it was hanging out in the teens for a long time, and they were just gleeful about it, talking about how it's never gonna go. But then when it blasted off recently to almost 80 cents, then they shut up and everything that they wrote didn't age well. It's kind of in line with this. That's what I'm expecting to happen. Here's a headline from You Today. Ripple off. Legendary trader Peter Brandt gloats over impending SEC lawsuit against Ripple. And you can see here, I'm just going to read the tweet from him. Hashtag Ripple_off. This will not surprise those of you who follow me and troll me on Twitter. I have maintained from the beginning that XRP is a security and that Ripple Labs as bag holder will be found in violation of the SEC. See, this is why I think it's not going to go well for it, because even if there is some sort of fee paid, XRP is not going to ultimately be labeled a security, so you're going to be wrong, okay? But there's one. Then you have, look at this, Vitalik Buterin. Oh my God, creator of Ethereum. And I got to admit, I lost some respect for this guy based on what he wrote here. I did. I had nothing but respect, for him prior to this. I didn't really have anything bad to say about him. But look at what he wrote here. Looks like the Ripple/XRP team is sinking to new levels of strangeness. They're claiming that their S-word coin should not be called a security for public policy reasons, namely because Bitcoin and Ethereum are Chinese controlled. No, not namely. And they are citing accurately about the situation with mining and how it's Chinese miners that control it, whether you like it or not, my friend Vitalik. That's the state of things. That's the reality of all of this. And that's why I retweeted it. I retweeted that and I wrote something, and this is true, by the way. I was like, remember that time you stole the idea for smart contracts from Ripple? Which you maybe stole to, maybe I didn't remember, I may not have written the word stole or got it from them. Maybe I used the word stole. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's true. He actually got the entire idea for Ethereum from Ripple employees. He actually slept on the house of Ripple's former CTO, Stefan Thomas. He was like sleeping on the couch for, I think, a couple weeks. And he was engaged in the early days of Ripple, the company. And when they were trying to figure out the direction they wanted to go, Ripple decided not to pursue smart contracts. Vitalik had the idea, and then he did. So, hey, credit him for getting the ball rolling and creating Ethereum. But it's just funny to, like, the reason you have everything you have in life, just about, at least, career-wise, it's because of Ripple. And then for you to say something crap like this and then call XRP an S-word coin, garbage. I've absolutely lost respect. And then CZ, founder of Binance, CEO, retweeted what Vitalik wrote and wrote, "Let's be decentralized but not divided. Let's help each other to grow the industry." So my respect for CZ, I already did have respect, and it just increased. So not everybody's saying bad stuff. Then you've got Anthony Pompliano. And I've been a fan of Anthony Pompliano, even though he's a maximalist, but this is ridiculous. Here, look what he wrote. He's like gleeful about this. "Good morning to everyone except the people who thought they could sell unregistered securities and get away with it." Yeah, we'll see how well that ages. Let's find out, because there's already legal precedent which would indicate that XRP is not a security, and that just the selling of these investment contracts, if that's the route that it goes, the selling of it, they weren't supposed to do it, but not that XRP was a security in and of itself. So in which case that sentence literally wouldn't be true, because it's not, if it's not a security, then they didn't sell an unregistered security. So there you go. Then there was a tweet from my fellow XRP YouTuber Crypto Eddie, who wrote, "I'm so disappointed in Vitalik Buterin. His comment today gave me the biggest shock, not the SEC. I had a whole different impression of him." Yeah, well, you're not the only one, Crypto Eddie. I had the same just ephemeral response to it, and it's just pure silliness. And then I'll wrap up by sharing this tweet from Mike Novogratz, which was not bad. Just the last part of what he wrote here was, "I do find it strange that Clayton waited years to do this." There you go. Jay Clayton of the SEC. He could have done it any time. Now as he's on his way out the door, creates this mess, and then whoever takes over is, they're the ones that are going to be handling this. So we shall see. Either way, again, I just want to reiterate that I'm not going to pretend to know how this is all going to play out, but I'm not concerned for the long-term viability of XRP whatsoever. I am not. It's functionally getting used. I think that the law is on Ripple's side, and even if they agree to a settlement and pay a fine just to get this thing behind them, fine. I don't care. Whatever. I'd love to hear what you guys think, but I'll wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.